Hello and welcome. You're watching Discland Stars. It's a PDGA-C tire event which is being held by Discland in Tallinn, Estonia. I am Tarvo Almere and I'm going to share this video clip and try to give as much as information as possible. And right now we're seeing the players who are going to play in this lead group, and they're local guys, they are all amateurs, so it's fun to watch somewhere else than the top pros. And here we have the table after round 1, since we're watching round 2. And I have to say it was an extremely windy day, since the track is located next to a lake. So from this view you can actually see the wind is really strong, and it really affected the gameplay. The -10 after round 1 actually is a really good result, and we're moving on to track number 1. This is a classic track 1 in Discland. You can see OB everywhere, mandatory on the left. You can see the little sign on the left tree. It's so close, usually it doesn't play that much, but this stroke went to the right. You can see the leaves falling, it hit the tree. This is right here, and that's actually good enough. Should give him a putt. Ignore, maybe do high. You don't want to go too long because the OB after the basket is quite close. The tree after the basket, you can see that's basically where the OB line is. And now when we're done with the first throws, I'm going to check out the statistics. In round 2, the average score on this, that was close to OB, average score was 3.6, so it's more than half a stroke above the par. And we have the first birdie. That was a really nice putt. And the second guy in the lead misses his putt, so we are going to have a single lead after this hole. And the wind was really affecting all the throws, so you can't actually blame them missing completely. And we have 2 misfires in a row. This is Tuisk, also hits the chains but doesn't stick, it was too much to the left. And Willman is taking his time and makes it stick. Like we already said, the average was 3.6, so a par is a good result on this hole. Of course, bogey is never good, so Twist probably is not happy with that. And we move on to track number 2. We have OB on the right. It's covering another basket, and it's so far on the right that actually it doesn't come to play. 50 meters is about 175 feet, somewhere in that region. And we see on this track you have to contend with this little tree in the front of you, and that's actually nice. They should be parked. And like you can see, most of the guys playing with the forehand because the tracks are so short here that with the forehand it's much easier. You can aim better, you feel more comfortable. And even on this track, the wind is playing a little bit. It's actually good as well. The average on this track through this round was 2.9. So all of them, they're aiming to get the birdie, but 2 of them, they're not going to get it. Actually, he missed it, so he had a chance. Willman really needs this and hits the chains, but again it doesn't stick. But right there, going for the knee, he's going to do this a lot of times during this round. Hits the upper part of the basket. And Duisk, really high. I don't think the wind affected that much, but Rothenberg takes his par. And Idnur is going to take his nice birdie. That was really nice drop from him. Take it out. And Willman bogey. So we move on to track number 3. It's another short one, around 200 feet. This is where most of the tracks or holes are here. We have mandatory on the right side, the first tree you can see after the bush. And you have to go somewhere there actually. A lovely kick for Idnur. And you can go really easily, you can go OB long because the OB line is between track number 1 and 3 so that they don't merge too much. And Rothenberg, nice and straight, goes around the corner. This is what you actually need to do here. And Duisk is trying to be more skippy, but it didn't go as planned probably. It looked like it went too far. And Willman was most likely it was an early release, but when you get lucky you can see you can go through this hole here and you will be under the basket. Actually he hit the basket there a little bit and got the roll away. Duisk is taking his 3 steps away from the OB line. He was really close to it, but it wasn't OB time yet, and he completely misses it. And birdie for Rothenberg. So he got his screen going. One of the 2 guys who had -10 in round 1, which was a really amazing score. And birdie for Raidja. So we have 1 stroke difference in the lead. And Idnur with a lovely tree kick, and he gets his birdie. And where did end up Duisk with his long miss? It's going to the bushes. Okay, he's not that deep. You can go really deep on those bushes and then you don't have nothing. But at least he caught his par now. By average, the hole played even par, so actually 3 birdies here is good result. And we have hole number 4, another 200 feet-ish kind of track where you have OB everywhere, a really low ceiling like you can see, and the best play is a skip shot. It kind of did it, it went to 2 inside maybe. It's too high for Raidja, it skips really long. He was begging it to go to the left. And this is the only backhand we're going to see from Rothenberg. And it skips too early and it's OB. So we have Duisk trying to do the skip shot, but it went too flat. And now we have Willman. Maybe a little bit too wide. It rolls, but luckily it stopped before the OB line. So we have only 1 OB. And from this angle you don't have anything else to do, you just throw it under the basket. Duisk is going for it, but completely misses. So like you can see from the cars moving around, the track is located in the middle of Tallinn basically. and you have the complete city noise in the background all the time, plus the lake, the people from the lake during the summer. There's people barbecuing, you have the barbecue smells and everything. So it's a really nice place to be. And we're getting our strokes in. Inno is moving to 9 under, which is really close to the lead actually. And we have another bogey from, I have a bogey from Rothenberg actually. Yeah, he had OB, so -10, back to even par on this round. So one of the longer holes here. It's around 230 feet, I think. And hole number 5, OB everywhere. You don't have this kind of low ceiling as the previous one, but oh, this is too high. It needs to come back. It came back to the center of the field, so it's good enough. And this is too straight. You want to do this kind of draw, but it needs to be a little bit higher. Or you have a forehand like this. It was almost good. And Willman maybe too high, maybe too much angle, because the cap is quite narrow. You have to hit it. Okay, this actually looks good, but it didn't come back at all. You have the wind coming straight to your face. So here right here doesn't have anything. So otherwise OB is just throwing it up there. You can lay up, another layup. I don't think they were running it because of the wind. I think, but Rothenberg was running it for sure. It was close. And we had Ryder trying his par, his 4, but didn't get it. And Rothenberg taking his par. And who is next? Duisk on the par. And the hole played 3.4, so a par here is fair enough. And we have the first double bogey, so we are even in the lead, both guys back in -10. And hole 6, double mandrel, we call it. It's like a gate. You start your draws outside of the forest or the park, and you have to draw it in like this, but you have to hit the gap. So the tee pad actually is next to the main road. So some guys who doesn't like the heavy traffic sounds, they're going to have concentration issues. And that throw went, I don't know where, I didn't see it. And Rothenberg actually, that wasn't good enough. It should give him a really nice circle 1 putt. And we have Ryder parking it almost. So, and here you can actually see how strong the wind is. We are quite next to the lake. This hole and the next 2 holes, they are really affected by the winds, because the lake really opens up the wind to the wind, and you can see guys just taking the time to wait a little bit more calmer moments. And I can confirm that none of them actually passed the 30-second mark. And a birdie for Ryder, really nice work. Too low for Rothenberg, he really needed that. So Ryder is jumping back to the lead. And Willman for his par. And he has it. Inno for his par, Twist for his birdie, and Rothenberg for his par. So in top 3 we have actually 2-stroke difference. This is really nice to see there is a battle going on. And track number 7, and like you can see, OB everywhere, and we have OB Island in the end. It's with this kind of wind, it's extremely hard to get there. There's no question about it. And the wind is just pushing that disc away from the basket, basically saying get out of here. And this is going. It was going too straight to the OB line on the left, but luckily it stopped. And the skip shot is not going to work out with this kind of wind, so I don't think he meant to do this. And Willman straight to the OB. It was way too high, at the same line as Raidia, but it was much higher. And this is actually the line what you want to hit with your forehand, but it went to the OB. It went to the just before the OB island. We call it a little bit like a river, OB river. So he just landed in the middle of it, and Ingram just packing it up. Willman trying to do this. Oh, that is a nice spark shot from this position. And Duisk is kind of in a little trouble, so he has to go through the tree. He does it perfectly. And we have here Rottenberg trying his par. Didn't get it. No harm done. So this hole played 3.8 average. It was one of the hardest baskets on this round. And you can see a spectator walking by. There's not spectating going on there, but let's say it's a spectator. And we have already 2 bogeys, 3rd bogey, and 4th bogey. So 3.8, guys. It's fair enough. And we have the 8th basket, which is a straight line, really open, but you have OB everywhere. The OB actually is closer to the basket than this map shows. And you can see it's really open, but it's also really open to the wind coming from the back, behind. And OB, we're going to see a lot of OBs here. In average, this hole played 3.5. This needs to come back. Lucky kick, it went to the center of the field. And you know, oh, this is too early from his hands. And OB again. Willman, OB, didn't have the luck to his card. And we have Rottenberg. And lovely, needs to go to the right a little bit. It jumped down, there's a ditch there, it just sucks the skin. And out of 5 guys, 4 had OB, and one guy just was lucky. Willman actually went for it from this position, but got punished for it, because you can see, and Duisk for his birdie, didn't get it. Ryder for his par, nicely done. Rottenberg for his par. Willman counting the steps. In the same time, we're going to see Itno hurrying a little bit, taking his bogey. 2 bogeys in a row for him, and Willman is having a really bad front 9. And we move on to the last hole of this part 1. Like you can see, another 200-ish feet, OB everywhere, and this is actually almost a little bit more to the left. Here you want to have something super straight, you just go for it. And this is too high. And you need to stay low, you have to hit the ground like 20 feet before the basket to slide it up. This is too much to the left, but it's safe. It's better not to have an OB anymore. And this just sails to the left, OB. And this one sails to the right, and the kick there, OB again. So we have Rottenberg trying to get his birdie. was actually close, another one close, but they're eluding him right now. So Williman choosing his positions up to the more straight line, but can put his foot in the OB, so but a good putt nonetheless. So Idnum is thinking I can do this as well, and takes his par as well. And he's on the -7. Please count his OB3 and makes it connect. And now we have Raidia. And birdie is the back wall actually stops most of the disc. I've seen only one time when the disc went there and it was OB. So they're moving on, and we are finishing this part 1. We can see the standings here. From the chase card, we have Raiko Heide and Andy Yuri right there, who are chasing down the leaders, hoping to do something. And they are both 3 under after 9 baskets. So it's kind of fight. And thank you for watching. I hope you really liked it. And check out the second part of this Discland Stars.